This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
There you go. Well, the next time we see you is for a worldwide taping on October 6th. This taping would air on October 17th and was recorded at the always hot, pun intended, Memorial Auditorium in Spartanburg. And while I'm sure you worked up one of those famous deep sweats, this show was loaded with segments and matches. You and Tully, with JJ by your side, had some comments directed at the Road Warriors and the potential match for Starrcade. Let's take a listen, Arn.
Well, the first chance we've had to talk to these two is the World Tag Team Champions, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard. Tully, I think you owe a great big assist to the Midnight Express.
Well, Bob Cottle, what it is the contracts were signed, and you had to get to the ring. What happens before, nobody said, Arn's got a broken hand. Okay? Nobody said nothing about Arn. He was in the ring with me, ready to go. Ricky Morton, you opened up something that you couldn't finish. That's your problem, not ours. We want him right in the middle of the ring. You quit. You and your partner quit, gave up. We are the world's tag team champions. Now you listen to the Road Warriors, Chi-Town Heat. They want a shot at us. If J.J. Dillon says, you gentlemen, and I use the term loosely, are worthy of a championship shot in November in Chicago, then they'll get it. But it amounts to, Bob Carter, this year, when we go to the ring, I'm talking about myself in particular, we're going as the incumbents. We're the World Tag Team Champions. We're going in to defend this, whether it's rock and roll, Road Warriors, superpowers, garbage, it doesn't matter who it is. When you're the incumbents, it's hard to unseat you. So Road Warriors, you figure you got enough. Just remember one thing. The Horsemen are going to wrestle with that same intensity, that same drive, that same endurance that got us these belts. And when we're on top, it's hard to knock us off the top of the mountain.
The World Tag Team Champions, fans, now back to the ring.
You want to talk about intensity. My goodness, Arn. I'm nervous just watching that now.
Whew. Well, confidence we were building. You know, it's no easy matter fighting the Road Warriors. You know, but each time that you do and you live through it, and a lot, that was the goal to begin with.
Just to live through it.
Wasn't to win. It was just to survive.
That's right.
And you survive a few times and you figure out, well, maybe they are partially human. And maybe there's a chance that they'll make a mistake. And if they do, we got a shot at it.
I got to mention, too, those beautiful tag team championships. We know Conrad's a big belt mark. I love belts as well. It's been cool because I'm telling you, if you're a member of ad-free shows or gotten to go to StarCast or things like that, those are the titles that we've gotten to see and take pictures with. And you and Tully have held again for some photo ops. Beautiful, beautiful championship tag team belts there held by you and Arn, man.
Well, yeah, and you know what? It was a source of pride because I think it came from an era where there was the most talent ever across the board in the wrestling industry. And to be World Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, when people talk about the greatest tag teams of all times, you can't leave out Arn and Tully, the Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll Express, the Road Warriors. Buddy, all four of those teams were right here in 1987 going at it with each other. In the same company.
Yep, and in every single town across this United States. We didn't miss any. I mean, when we said we were on tour, we were on tour.
That's many people's tag team Mount Rushmore, those four teams right there. And you guys all did battle day in and day out with one another. And that's why this is such a tremendous era of wrestling, and man, just so privileged to relive this with you. So let's get into some of the other results. The following day in Cleveland, Ohio at the Convention Center, all the Horsemen were heavily featured for a UWF television taping. The show recapped how you and Tully won your titles from the Rock and Roll Express. One of the featured matches of the show was an 8-man tag with Rick, Luger, Tully, and yourself taking on Barry Windham, Mike Rotundo, Brad Armstrong, and Tim Horner. My God, the talent in that match. If that wasn't enough, once again, the live crowd was treated to a dark match pitting Dusty Rhodes and the Road Warriors against Flair, Luger, and you, Arn, in a steel cage match. As you might imagine, the Horsemen found themselves on the losing end of this one. But what a card, Arn. You're wrestling twice in that show, the dark match. But can you just talk to some of the talent we did with the tag teams? But now we're talking about Rotunda and Windham and Armstrong and Horner.
Performers. What they may have lacked in championships and quality TV time and long records of wins, they brought up in ability. And those guys got in there and they showed incredible resiliency, because the fact is, it was a pretty good set of opponents they were looking across the ring at. And we had our shit together. And those guys were very competitive. And Brad Armstrong and Tim Horner are two guys that every chance I get, I give a plug to, because they were just that good. And you could put them in a main event and they would hold their end up. And on this particular situation, I'm sure they did. But if you bought a ticket to that show, can you imagine? After all the matches that you saw on TV, to have a dark match of that magnitude?
With the cage with Dusty and the Warriors with Flair, Luger, and Arn Anderson.
My God, that's a pay-per-view match.
You got your money's worth, buddy. That's for sure.
And then some.
Yep, absolutely. I love the reference to Tim Horner. White Lightning, Tim Horner. And man, another really good wrestler. Probably doesn't get the due that he deserves. Not the loudest guy ever on the mic, or you won't remember a classic promo. But when it came to between those ropes, he knew what he was doing and could get the job done. Big fan of him as well.
Yep. Certainly Brad, every bit the same.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.